light that shines twice as bright, burns half as long. Using my book. All right, this is part 2 of continuing on from part 1, which was the short audition, which became scene study. Now, part 2, this. You booked the part, now what? Okay. All right, the role is yours. You're cast. So how do you take it from the page and put it into your body? Take it from the intellect, put it into your feelings. And you do that through imagination and fantasies. Your daydreams. This is the work. That's the actor's job, to live truthfully under imaginary circumstances. Well, how do you do that? By these fantasies, by taking from the page key elements that you have to live through. You have to visualize, you have to imagine, you have to play with it. That's what makes it truthful. Oh, here's a little quote. Johnny Depp, with any part you play, there is a certain amount of yourself in it. There has to be. Otherwise, it's just not acting, it's lying. I like that. So there's a certain part of you in everything. And this is how you get to that. This is how you live truthfully under imaginary circumstances. You have to know yourself. You have to own it. Let me read you a statement. Basically, it's how do you get into those fantasies and what are the building blocks of that? So I love this statement by Stella Adler. She says, the story, ideas for the character, or the facts aren't true or do not become real until put through fantasy by the actor. My chapter 2 process of becoming a role is, is the big 3. So here are the 3 things I'll immediately start to go after. 1 is the actor's mantra. This would be ringing in your ears. The actor mantra is what's happening, to whom, how do I feel about it. Boom. And you want to relate to it. So the second part of this big 3 is the emotional bridge, the magic if. You try to seek bridge by true things, by you, how you can directly relate to them. The emotional bridge, the as if, you ask yourself, if blank happens, how would I feel about that, and what would I do? So you emotionally bridge them all first. So with these fantasies, just for instance, the upside down world. Emotional bridge. Right now, currently, I can use some truth. I'm living in this in my buddy's factory, and I'm in an upside down world. I can use that to springboard into a fantasy. So I'm already myself personally in an upside down world, so I can use that fantasy, that truth, to bridge into this fantasy of this thing. And then on that same topic further is I don't have a daughter, so number 3 in the big 3 is the as if, is morph to look like the character. You say to yourself, the character feels about blank, my daughter, let's say as if the way I would feel about something else that means, use something else that means so much to you because it's the feelings. We're going after the emotion, the feelings that you get, and so you can use that now to grasp on. All right, so let's identify our fantasies, call them, or daydreams we're going to have to do for this piece. So let's go over these. I've kind of identified 7 main fantasies I'm going to work on. 1, let's take it from just the beginning of the script to the end. First is is the scene itself. So let's label this. So number 1 is the setting, the time and place. I'm in an upside down world here, as we've read it. Part 1, apocalyptic world, and it says it's been a year now. Dairy's run out. So this setting. Another one will be almost the moment before, again with setting, currently, motel now. It's what's happening just now. I have blood on my face. The bat I'm carrying, that's the moment before anyhow. So I'm going to fantasize what just happened there. So 2 separate things. I'm going to learn the world, take things from my own life, get a feeling in my body and set it in place, and then specifically be like, oh yeah, I've got to have a whole fantasy about what just happened. So that's there. Third, of course, is the relationship, with my daughter. I've got a daughter, so that's going to be a big one. Again, get into the idea of fatherhood, what that means, imagining, you know, but that's going to be a big fantasy. It's my daughter. What else do we have? We have the dead man in the bathroom. We find a dead man in the room, meaning to that. There's the mysterious beast, and in this piece, as we talked about, the sound and being quiet is key, because there's some beast that's now, you know, roaming, that's dangerous, and will, you know, based on the script, will kill you. That beast in the story, when the sound goes off and that beast comes and we hide in fright, it's really a preset, you know. So that's a separate fantasy of, again, I'll go into my own, you know, truth, my own beliefs, memories even, but then fantasy, daydream about, is there a time that, you know, you were so frightened, so scared. The seventh one is a preset knock on the birthday cake, which is a big deal in the script. It's, you know, and I talked about that presets before. They're special because, you know, in the script, here we are in this world, this upside down world, all these things are happening, and yet, you know, like a gift, not only the script, but in that world, you know, it's my daughter's, you know, birthday. It says so in the script that day. And so how do you make a script, you know, if you don't put it in your body, that can become one of those things where it doesn't play well on screen because, you know, oh, of course, you know, it's like, you know, you can see the writing, let's say, in it, where it's convenient or whatever. There's her birthday happens to be today, and he finds a thing. Well, to avoid that, to make that play, to live truthfully under imaginary circumstances, that I, in my fantasy, have to hope something good comes along in this day, in this upside down world, that I can make it special for my daughter, because it's her birthday, and I remembered. And so when, boom, this cake, we open up and the cake's there, it's got to hit you like, you know, it's a blessing, really. And it just, and you'll know, and the camera will pick it up if you worked on it, because it'll just pop. And then now that whole scene works, and now you can deliver it to her, and then she can have her emotions, because that's real, and then you're back to the world you're in. Alright, so got some work to do, some fantasies to live in, some play in my mind, and feel is the most important thing. Feel these specifically 7 fantasies I'm going to do, and I have my ways to get into it. So I'm going to do it. Hopefully it'll play well, and you know. Happy 17th, baby.
Hey, you remembered.
Of course.
Wait, I'm 18.
What?
Hey, I'm just messing with you. I didn't think you know. Thing. Gone and all.
Hey, what is it?
I'm sorry, it's just, last year Mom and I...
You remind me more of Lisa every day.
Okay, that's enough. I'm fine.
All right, last things. Good to go? Ready?